Okay, so today we got a 2001 Toyota Echo Roxy edition. Found this thing on Marketplace. I thought it was really cool. They were selling it for like $500 because it had a blown motor or something like that. Anyways, it didn't come with a full complete motor, but it did come with lots of parts. You can see here in a lot of these pictures that I have that the shape of it was pretty much like a barn find. It was in the shed for years, covered in dust, but when we came to inspect it, actually was in really nice shape. It didn't have any dents or anything like that. It's just really dusty. So anyways, we went ahead and made a deal and then pulled it out of the field. They had to put it out there after that and got it to the house, and then went to Panama City, which is a few hours away, right after Hurricane Michael. Got the motor for another $600 to get home. So we'll go ahead and get into it now. Enjoy. Alright y'all, here's the motor we got from the junkyard recently instead of piecing together that other one, which we'll show you here in a little bit. But I just want to do a walk around of the motor, what we got. It came off a wrecked car, which you'll see in a picture we have posted also here. But just to start with, it's full of water because they left it sitting outside for a long time in the rain. So today's test is to get all the water out and replace some oil in there so it looks good. Thing funny to point out is how thick this header is. Compared to my thumb, it's not very thick, being a 1.5 liter engine. You can see where they cut it straight off here. They do that a lot of junkyard to save time. Just see on this side, most of the stuff, also like the hoses and cables, just like sheared off so they could get out of the car quick. But we negotiated the transmission for free, so that saved us a lot of time from having to piece on the other one. You can see I had some little bit of damage here and over here from when it was in the car when it got wrecked. And they pretty much stripped it off of most of the things that we could have really needed, but luckily they left the intakes on. We had to put our own starter on just there. They still left a water pump, I guess, because there's not much they can really use it for. You can see by the rust it's been sitting a bit, but hopefully it just turns right over. And if you step with me behind you here, you'll see the other motor that came out of the car, what's left of it. Just a old block and stuff we can't really use much for, but at least we have some parts, if maybe some bolts or something. But anyways, yeah, let's get this thing put together and we'll see what it does. Alright y'all, so we ended up putting the starter on it. We got it grounded kind of here. Rigged up the starter so it turns right on. And we got some welder cable running up to here. So all we have to do is put it on there and we should see a little water show. So let there be some power. Alright, so today we're going to go through this motor and we're going to get it ready to put in the car. We got some parts from AutoZone that we're going to unbox and then look them over real quick and then get them on this motor and get it ready to go. Yeah, let's get started.
Let's do it.
Alright, so now we're going to change the valve cover gasket. Jordan is already going to take some of the screws off. And there's not too much to really look at the moment, but we're going to get these screws off and then see what the valves and cams and stuff look like inside this motor. We've never seen it before.
There's not many bolts, but they're all like finger tight.
Yeah, so the valve cover was, I guess, loose originally, so it kind of explains why some of the oil was seeping out. But we're going to change it anyway, make sure it's all good and sealed up. Okay, so we got the valve cover bolts taken off. There's not too many of them, but there's a few. We got the spark plugs out. They are actually in really nasty shape, so we're going to have to get new ones of those. So let's go ahead and pull this thing off and see what it looks like underneath of it. It doesn't actually look that bad. It looks pretty clean. It's really dry in there because it's been sitting for a while. Doesn't look like anything really.
I like the chain.
Yeah, the chain's really nice. You don't have to worry about that snapping anytime soon. It looks pretty tight still.
Pretty clean, no sludge.
I don't see any sludge in it. No dirt. Looks like we're about to be in pretty good shape with this motor. The valve cover, on the other hand, we are going to have that, get that cleaned up really good before we put the new seal on it and make it look pretty good. We'll have at least a Good running top end of this motor so far. Alright, so we got the valve cover put back on with the new gasket, and it's all cleaned up on the inside at least. We got a couple more things to do to this motor before we put it in. There's a couple of motor mounts like this one that, as you can see, when they ripped it out of the junkyard, they broke it, or maybe it was from when it was in the car, I don't know. Well, we got extra ones that came with our car. See, this one is pretty good shape, other than some surface rust. But we're going to go ahead and swap that out. And then there's a couple other things like these wires that were just cut off at the junkyard. And then some cabling like this that was just cut. And pretty much everywhere else on this motor, there's just cut connections everywhere. So we're going to leave them on there for now just so we can kind of get an idea of what goes where. And we also got the part of the exhaust that we got to remove. So that's just 2 bolts, and that'll leave the header ready to go. The header is in good shape. Alright, just follow us along as we go.
Alright, well, it's been a while since we purged the motor. When we had it outside, we had it filled with oil in the cylinder heads. See my assistant here, Eli's helping me fix it up. So then we're going to connect it up to the battery and run out the cylinders of oil.
Okay. Oh, Daddy.
Yeah, we're going to do that. Other than that, we're going to maybe put it in the car. Find out.
Oh.
Yep. Back to work. Alright, 3. Hold up now. 2.
Alright, so we got the engine secured on the lift.
Very precariously.
Yep. We don't have the mounts to put it on, so we got to improvise by putting some bolts around the chain. But looks like it should be ready to go here. So if we got it in there, it should just slide right on in.
So now we got a car battery that's proper for the job. We were missing a wire for the knock sensor, so we had to utilize a speaker wire connected up to it. And now Josh is going to try to fire one off and see what happens. No, stop! We have gas spewing everywhere. Yeah. And we got a little bit of oil on the windshield. Cool.
Smells like stinky gas.
Now we're going to attempt to maybe connect it up and run some nasty gas through it and see what happens.
Oh, I got everywhere.
Nasty. It smells nasty. Let's do it. Don't know if y'all can see it. Right there, you can see a little bit of gas squirting out of that fuel rail. It's getting everywhere. Good thing we see it now, because that could have been a catastrophe. Stop, something's smoking. I don't know what though.
It stink.
No.
It's probably exhaust.
Yeah. Luckily, we come in with a car with a bunch of junky parts and other motor parts, but luckily, I think we have a spare fuel rail, which hopefully doesn't leak. And oh, look, we're gonna this part right here. I don't have to use a speaker wire no more. Looks like the same part for the NOx sensors. That's bonus. Saves me lots of money. So we come to find out that it had bad gas, and unsurprisingly, in the gas tank. Why it's not starting. So we rigged up this here tube. We're going to drain out most of the tank. It's got like a little over half in it. We have a hot wire at the fuel pump. We changed out the O-rings and the injectors. Follow me over here. Got access to the gas tank. You see some treasures that are left behind from years and years of usage. But we're going to crack open that, hot wire the tank, and purge out that old gas. And it don't smell like very strong gas. It's clear though, like water almost, and corn. Alright, so as you can see, we got the fuel pressure rigged up to it now. Not running yet, but we pretty much determined after changing many sensors and many other things that it might have low fuel pressure. We're going to see what happens. You can see in real time. And we'll go ahead and show you how we got it rigged up in the back here. So we're going to rig up this here battery right to the thing to turn it on, and then it will provide pressure without us having to run the car, but we'll probably do both just a comparison. Hopefully they'll be similar. Let's go ahead and see what happens. It's up to 45. Alright, so we got the other side done. We're going to try this side. Looks just as weak. Hopefully we're not going to find too many big surprises on this one. Should be a little easier. And the transmission's right behind it. We have an idea of what to do. Just got to get all these old lug nuts off here. This one's cross-threaded. Not the one I'm touching, the other one. It's always one, they say. Do so much with your hand before you have to give up. When you have the right tools, things are always easier. That one's going to be fused also. Used old trusty battle axe. Here we go.
Free. A little bit of rust on there.
Alright, so y'all could see this one a little easier. It's a little thing. It's got a retaining ring. That's what locks it in there. Splin, so that's what makes it grip.
I see it.
This side's got an ABS ring. This is a non-ABS car, but it still fits. Still got the splines which goes in the hub. That's what gives it grip so it can drive. Okay. So I just gotta slide it. Oh, well, y'all can see that. Kind of gotta wiggle it in there. So it goes just like that, and then we just take a hammer and beat it in real quick. Mount it on the tire, hub. That's it. We got it in there. It's always important before you stick any shaft into a hole to get proper lube.
Yeah, otherwise it won't go in easy.
So we have lubed both the shaft and the receiving end.
That way it'll slide in without hurting anybody.
You know, just kind of maneuver it in there. It's never clean sometimes, but you got in and out a few times. But then you'll be satisfied when it gets all the way up inside there.
Get it nice and deep in there.
Then you just kind of
Feels like it just fits right.
yeah, and kind of wiggle it around a bit to make sure it's satisfactory. Other than that, once we're satisfied with the results of our penetration,
You know you're all the way in when you bottom out.
we just put the bolts in right on the top here. Gotta get the holes lined up a little bit. That's a 10-minute axle job right there. Anybody can do it at the house. Like I said, the shorter one's easier. Sometimes the longer one's a little bit more harder to get in there, but a little work, they will always go.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the inside a little bit more clean since our last video. Actually came out beautiful. It's not fully detailed, that's just a good wipe down. Get an idea how pristine most of this interior still is. Those seat backs don't go to this car, but the back seat's just as nice. Now we have it currently installed on this tow dolly because we have ran into a point. We don't know what else to do or how to fix it. It's obviously timing, so it's going to go to the dealer next. And they'll diagnose it and tell us what's wrong. Hopefully it's something basic. Just got back from the dealer. He said it has a bad head gasket. Kind of just expected that. So I've already ordered some of the parts. I'm trying to figure out what's best to do as far as doing in the car or pulling it out. It's really not that difficult to take it out and do a good job at it. I'm thinking that's what I'm going to have to do is take it back out again.
Well, it runs, people. That's good.
So we ended up driving that car for about 2 weeks. Really far actually. It ran really well as far as reliability, but it ran like crap as far as compression, leaking oil everywhere. We ended up posting the car for sale. We sold it for $1,400 to the first guy who bought it, so we broke even on it. It was a really educational experience, but I learned a lot of what not to do, and it was interesting. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care.